and welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to our lunch hour live with Happy Healthy Women and our incredible leaders in this beautiful collective. As many of you know, I'm Natalie Colillo, the founder of Happy Healthy Women, and I am joined today by the amazing Ann Casey, who is such a beautiful part of this collective and is a leader, a trailblazer in our Guelph branch, Guelph, Ontario. And she is also a metamorphosis life coach. And so I said to Ann, I'm going to let you explain what that is because I'm sure it means many, many things. But one of the biggest things, you know, when I first talked to Ann and we had a great conversation, it was I just loved her viewpoint on our health and the dieting culture and all of that. And so when she said, you know, I want to talk about the BS of the dieting culture, I was like, what better way? I love that. That's perfect. So, so Ann, welcome and thank you so
Thank
much for being
you.
part of Happy Healthy Women.
Thank you so much. This is great. I'm excited to chat with you today.
Awesome. So tell us what you do as a metamorphosis life coach.
So, my main role as a metamorphosis coach is to help specifically women. I certainly don't turn men away, but I find that most of the time my clients are women. Um, my role is to help them find the beauty that's already within them. Um, I think that, it's a pretty fair statement to say that as women, as moms, as entrepreneurs, as employees or employers, we often lose track of what we are inside because we're so busy and we've got so many different types of commitments and things like that. And so what ends up happening is we suffer because we put ourselves last a lot of the time. And when that happens, it becomes a little difficult for women to fight their way out of that and to
Mhm.
realize that we've got it all within. How do we bring it back to the surface? So I help women find that what they already have, help them find it and bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, I love this. And that like we're getting lots of likes on that, right?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I remember talking to you at first and like you telling me that I was like, this is the whole premise of Happy Healthy Women. It's about finding that within and living the life that we want to be living. And
Yeah.
so and like having work be a part of that, but not the whole world, right? So hi guys, there's lots of people joining us live. So Anne, tell us a little bit then about the work that you do in terms of reframing that piece of, you know, we'll just jump into the dieting culture and the work that you do in terms of reframing that for people.
Yeah, so my philosophy, in all fairness, it's a newer philosophy for me because I too, fell into the woes of diet culture. The bottom line is diet culture is BS. It
Yeah,
always has been, it always will be, and it has caused myself and many other women a great deal of grief because what happens is right from a very, very, very young age, we are taught that if you don't look a certain way or feel a certain way or wear a certain style of clothing or whatever the case may be, you're not good enough. Um,
yeah,
and I'm shocked to have learned that by the time a woman is in her early or mid 30s, she has likely tried in excess of 50 types of diets. And by a diet, I mean anything that restricts what you put into your mouth from your food. Like, i- as soon as you restrict something, you're on a diet. Um, and what we see a lot is, advertising and social media and those kinds of things. They portray these types of diets, if you will, as, the answer to all of your problems. And that is
yeah,
so far from the truth. A diet is not going to fix any of your problems. It's going to cause you more problems. So when I work with women, I work on mainly on a premise. It's a bear philosophy, and it's a philosophy written by one of my mentors, Susan Hyatt. She wrote a book about it, and some of you may have seen it, in bookstores or in the Guelph group. And basically, what this is it's a 7-step process that it's not a weight loss plan, it's a life gain plan. So we talk about
Mhm.
things like, bringing more pleasure into your day, um, detoxing your environment. And that means things like not just your home or your car, it means your Facebook feed, it means what you watch on TV, because all of this is feeding us with this negative kind of stuff every single hour of every single day. And it's no wonder we fall into the trap of, oh, look at that very lovely lady who's a size 2, who's
Mhm.
wearing a beautiful workout, outfit. I want to look like that, so I must do this to look like that. The reality is that's not going to happen. It's just not going to.
Mhm.
So how do we
Mhm.
find a way to live our best life now and be happy with who and what we are? Because
Yeah.
the bottom line is, for some of us, being 5'8", 200 pounds may be my natural weight. And if that's my natural weight and I'm feeling great about myself, then I don't need to be on a diet, because it's not going to do anything
Yeah.
for me except make me miserable. So this
Yeah.
is the kind of work that I like to do with women, is to help them find that way to treat their body with respect and care and love, and not criticism.
Yeah. I love this. And I think that one of the biggest shifts that we can make just in terms of what you're talking about, and I'm sure that this is what, you coach a lot on this, is moving from like the idea of exercise and fitness in order to look a certain way to moving like to moving our bodies so that we can feel a certain way for
Yes.
strength, for health,
Yes.
for like not to fit into like a size 2, right?
And you know what? And if that is your natural weight and that's what you end up at, that's great. But what I find, with the women that I work with, is that when they stop putting the focus on the diet or the losing weight, and they start focusing on what they're feeling in their hearts and in their mind and in their body, and they start treating themselves wonderfully, and they're adding pleasure to their day, and they're treating exercise as a beautiful way to move their body instead of a means to an end, they end up
Yeah.
lifting weight anyway,
Right.
right? As soon as you
Yeah.
stop obsessing and trying to make something happen through unnatural means, and start letting your body and your mind do the things they're meant to do, then you will reach that natural place where you need to be. It happens every time.
100%.
Yeah.
So I love this. So I know that your coaching is multifaceted, right? Like you said, you focus on different areas. So in addition to like to share a little bit more about the well-roundedness of your coaching program because I just love it.
Yeah. So, I do a couple of things. I work in small groups. So, right now, actually, we've just started it's called the Bear Book Study. So we read the book, a chapter a week. We get on Zoom on Monday nights and we talk about the chapter. There's homework to do, and homework I say rather loosely. You either do it or you don't, but there's no homework police. But we
Yeah.
talk about we talk about topics such as attentive eating. Are you standing at the kitchen counter eating? Or are you treating your meals like a celebration? We talk about detoxing your closet. Why do you have 5 different sizes of clothes in your closet when you're only one size? Get rid of
Hmm.
this, because we talk about getting rid of those negative messages in every facet of your life. Kind of doing a Marie Kondo, if you will, on your house to make sure that things are beautiful for you when you sit down at your desk to do some work, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So we do that in a group, small groups. But then some women find that, after they've done that, they really want to dig a little bit deeper. And so that's when the one-to-one coaching comes in. And generally, I like to see women for at least 8 weeks, because what happens is conversations and the sessions morph a little bit, because people want to focus on different areas, so we might have to spend a couple weeks on attentive eating, or a couple weeks on cleaning up your environment. It's really an individual thing. um, but what happens is that on the one-to-ones, we work very intimately, and there's a lot more homework to do because I want women to really come into their own power, and they do that only by journaling and actually doing the work, right? So
Yeah.
um, it's that's mainly the two areas that I work with. I do consider sometimes doing small biz or group coaching aside from the book club, but I find it gets a little bit messy because women want to share things that are perhaps a little bit intimate and private, and it's much more of a safe environment to work on a one-on-one. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. People will restrict themselves.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. So, and all this work is done, like, do you do all your coaching online or is it in person?
I do all my coaching online. I do prefer to do it over video conferencing because I think that it's important to see each other. I have done some on the phone coaching. It's fine. It's not my preference though, and I find that coming face to face, like you and I are now, it helps
Mhm.
with accountability, and it helps my clients see me as a real person instead of just a voice on the phone, right? Um,
Right. Yeah.
it's rare that I would do a face to face, in real life, if you will, sessions because I just find it's much easier from a schedule perspective for my clients to be able to just sit at home and in the privacy of their own homes, feel a little bit secure that way, and yeah, it just works really really well.
I love it. So, and I mean, I had another thought of something that I wanted to ask
Mhm.
you, just in terms of what would you say is the first thing that women do, or that women can do, in order to start to flip this mindset? So, if they're watching this and they're thinking like, I'm totally that person.
Yep.
I need a little bit of a taste of how this will look for me. What would you recommend is the first thing people do?
The very first thing that I always recommend to every single client that I have is to start a gratitude journal. And it doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to be complicated, but to commit that they will each day, whether it's at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but they will fill out something in a journal, something they are
Mhm.
grateful for. Um, it doesn't have to be an essay, it can be one word,
Mhm.
because what that does is it starts letting the brain think a little more positively about what's happened during the day, even if you've had a crappy day. There's always
Yeah.
one thing you can find that, I'm grateful that I mean, especially in these days, I'm grateful that I have toilet paper. That could be a great, a great thing to put in your gratitude journal. Um,
Yeah.
and I think what happens from that is that people realize the beauty and the greatness that they have in their life. It makes them more positive, which then will morph into all other areas. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really simple thing to do. Um, and then, perhaps the next thing, which is sometimes a little more complicated, but find something that people are something you love to do. Whether, I mean, for me, I like to run, so I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I go for a run. Find something you love doing each day and actually schedule it into your day so you can do that. Last night we had a discussion that some people love to have a beautiful cup of tea at the end of the day, something that simple. It's like a little, warm hug at the end of the day, if you will, or at the beginning of the day. But something so
Mhm.
simple. I think sometimes what happens is we try to complicate things a little too much, and then we don't do them because we're in a state of overwhelm. So
Yeah.
keep it simple, keep it easy, and yeah, definitely get a gratitude journal. And if you're kind of a journal junkie like me, the dollar store is a great place to go because they always have real cute journals, right? Get them for a couple
Yeah.
bucks. Doesn't have to be fancy. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And so, for those of you who are just chiming in, because I know that we've had people just come on, like, we're talking the BS of the dieting culture, but it's so interesting because this conversation has morphed into like, this is a synergy. This is not just about, um, you know, keeping in the know about healthy food, right? This
That's
is
right.
really about a whole synergy, a whole life change, a lifestyle, if you would,
That's right.
in order for us to I always like to say, like, escape the shackles of the
Yeah,
dieting culture.
that's exactly it. Because I mean, the bottom line is the diet industry and the weight loss industry lies,
Yeah.
because every single advertisement that you see is not the norm. It's not what's going to happen for people, you know.
Mhm.
And when you look at magazines and you see, the beautiful women or men on the magazines, they've never probably had a weight gain issue. And so of course they look wonderful. They don't need to
Yeah.
take the diet that they're advertising. So
Right.
it's incorrect information that we don't need, and we are bombarded with it every single hour of every single day. And it's all lies.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
lies. If we eat well, we eat the best food available to us. We exercise our body because we need to move our bodies. We treat ourselves with beauty and respect, and we treat those around us the same way. We will be beautiful in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that perspective. And we don't need to be walking around feeling like we need something else or we need to get rid of something in order to live happy. Happiness is within. And that is something that I absolutely love about you describing your program and you sharing about the coaching that you do, because it's not about losing something or gaining something. It's
No.
about like knowing what we have, right? And so the whole point of you starting that with a gratitude journal is just perfect, is amazing. So thank you for that.
Hmm.
So, so talk to us about moving forward. Like, where can people find more information on you and your programs? And do you offer like a free consultation? How does all that work?
I do. So right now, anybody who pops over to my website will just see a landing page because of all of the stuff that's going on right now with COVID-19 and things like that. I've got some behind the scenes work updating some stuff on my website. So it'll be up and running within the next couple of days again. But
Okay.
what I do is I absolutely insist upon a at least 30-minute intro call, because I think it's very important that my clients and I really decide if we're a good fit to work together. Um,
Okay.
so I mean, I am not a doctor. So if some women may have medical issues that really need a medical doctor's attention. So I always like to chat with people first, and we decide if we're a good fit. And we do that again over a video conference, because I think it's important that we see each other's faces as we chat.
Mhm.
um, and then once we've made that decision, that yes, we are going to be a good fit, then we talk about, I have an onboarding file that I will send to each individual person. They'll fill out a whole bunch of information for me, and then we set some times for our meetings. And the all of the pricing and what have you for those kinds of things, for the coaching packages, will be on the website. The intro call is of course a free call, because we need to chat, we need to learn about each other and decide if we're going to work together.
Of course.
Yeah.
So where can people reach out to you? Is Facebook better for you? Instagram? Where are you mostly?
So 6 1/2 for me. Once the website is up, there will be a contact me form in there for people to fill out, or people can
Yeah.
email me at ann@samadhilife.ca, or through Facebook. That works as well, because I've got all of those going all the time. So just like
Yeah.
many of us, right? And also, I'm also available by phone, not quite 24/7, but almost.
Amazing. Did I get the spelling right there? Samadhi Life?
You did, yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, for everyone watching, like, I just think that a session with you would be so enlightening because, again, like I said, it's not just focusing on the one thing. If we want to feel healthy, it's multifaceted and there's a synergy between so many things. So, for those of you who are thinking, there's lots of areas of my life that I'd like a little bit of a reboot on and like to be rid of the BS, get in touch with Anne. Anne knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about. And so, Anne at somebodylife.ca or Facebook or Instagram as well. Yeah. And thank you so much for this. This
Oh,
has been
thank
a great
you.
session.
This has been great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, and I want to just let everyone know that if you're in the Guelph area,
Mhm.
and does events there. I mean, when we get back in person, but for right now, everything is moving online. So no matter where you are, you can tap into what we have going on here, what we have going on in Guelph, what we have going on in BC. Take advantage of the time and tap into everything that's been going or everything that's moving online in all of our events. And Anne, again, thank you so much for being such an incredible leader in our organization. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you. This has been
Yeah.
great. Thank you for the chat. It's been wonderful.
My pleasure. And for those of you who want to also step into leadership and share your knowledge and expertise with our community, please get in touch or go to happyhealthywomen.ca to learn more about our programs. Have a great day, everybody. Stay happy, stay positive,
Bye.
stay healthy, stay well. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.